Hi everybody, welcome to my Facebook page, or rather my YouTube channel, wherever you're watching from. In this week I am talking about authenticity. Now the word itself sounds very fancy to say authenticity, and it sounds very nice to throw around in a conversation, but it's actually very tricky. So I've personally seen a lot of videos where a lot of motivational speakers speak about authenticity, why it's important for one to really embrace themselves as they are as an individual without focusing on other people's opinion, or rather what the world expects you to be as an individual. I've read up a bit on authenticity, and yeah, I think I'm not the only one that has attempted that, because I think all of us are on a journey of actually finding a way to embrace ourselves as we are and not be apologetic about it. So I'm going to tackle it a bit differently so that we can think a bit broad about what affects authenticity before we talk about why it's important for you to be authentic to self. So the four things which, or rather, let me not say four because maybe I'll forget one of them, one of them or two. But the first thing that affects authenticity is how we were raised as individuals. Now, there are cool parents like my mother, the parents who actually encourage a child to be themselves, where a mother celebrates a child for who they are and praises the child to say, I love this about you, I love this about you, you are great, you are amazing, you are, and the child grows up believing that I am perfect as I am, because much as we don't want to admit it, we have got an impact on our children's lives depending on what we say to them about them, if you get what I mean. And then there are people who were raised differently, unfortunately, where this person was constantly told, you are so stupid, why are you not like your sibling so and so, why do you behave like this? And this person grew up thinking that there's actually so much that is wrong about them and that the world will not accept them as they are. Now, that definitely has to affect the person's authenticity somehow. And the other thing, obviously, is other people's opinion as you grow, not just your mother or your siblings or anyone else, people at work, your friends, and who actually have got so much opinion regarding how you carry yourself, how you behave, and they get you to a point where you think, maybe I should change to fit in because my friends don't like this part of my personality. Maybe I should not go to church because it makes me uncool to my friends, and all these other things which actually drift you away from actually becoming yourself and trusting in the fact that the people who actually care about you and value you as an individual will love you just as you are. The third thing that affects a person's authenticity is the environment that they find themselves in. For example, if a child grows up in a family which is very strict, where you must dress a certain way, you must behave a certain way, you must have a specific group of selected friends, or even a working environment which you find yourself in where you must dress a certain way, so obviously such things influence your ability to actually be yourself, because then you need to conform to the environment that you find yourself in as an individual. So the fourth thing that affects a lot of people's ability to be true to self is the person's thoughts about self, or rather, in broken English, what you say to yourself about yourself. Because if you think about it, what your mother says to you about you can actually be something that you overcome as an individual. What other people think about you, the opinion of other people beyond just family, is something that you can overcome. the environment that you find yourself in, you can actually pull yourself out of that environment. But the fourth one, which is what you say about yourself to yourself, or your thoughts of you as an individual, is the one part which, if you really want to be authentic to self, you need to actually personally deal with as an individual. So there are people actually who have put themselves in a position where they think that there is nothing right about them, or that they are not good enough as they are. And these people walk around and act the part of actually not being good enough because they've convinced themselves in their heads that they are not good enough. So obviously that restricts you from actually enjoying, or rather allowing the world to enjoy your true self, simply because you've convinced yourself that I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not intelligent enough, I'm not knowledgeable enough, I don't speak well enough, I don't dress well enough, and obviously that restricts you from sharing your thoughts because you think your thoughts are not good enough. That restricts you from wearing that dress which actually looks good on you, but because you've convinced yourself that nothing looks good on you, so you actually deny yourself the ability to actually be yourself, simply because you've convinced yourself that you are not good enough as an individual. So basically, I think it's very important that we deal with our thoughts regarding ourselves, so that we can be able to go out to the rest of the world and actually be ourselves, and believe more than anything that our thoughts matter, that our opinions matter, and that we are as significant as any other person. Once you break that barrier of actually accepting yourself as an individual, as you are, and looking in the mirror and actually finding so much right about yourself, with your scars, with your mistakes and everything, but still be able to say, I'm proud of you, you are actually enough, you are actually a giant, you are enough, Mpumi, then and only then you will be able to let the world experience you and enjoy you as you are. So yeah, let us go out there and actually believe that we are as significant as the other person. I think the one magical thing, I need to come closer to the camera for this one. The one magical and most beautiful thing that God did was to make so many of us, but we are all so different. Isn't that magical? And that clearly shows you that we are all beautiful as we are. God made us the way we are for a specific purpose that is beyond the human eye or human understanding. So don't get me wrong, it's very important that we are all authentic to self, where you are actually embracing yourself as you are. But the most critical part about authenticity is that you must be able to challenge yourself to grow as an individual, because there's so much to you as a person. You must not say, I'm embracing myself as I am, I'm embracing my state of life, I'm embracing my state of thinking, I'm embracing my body as it is, I'm embracing. No, embrace, yes, but there's nothing wrong with evolving self for self. Not because Mpumi looks like that, I want to look like that. No, not because Mpumi thinks like that, I want to think like that. You want to challenge your own way of thinking. You want to challenge your own style. You want to challenge how you approach matters. You want to challenge how you parent your kids, so that you can evolve, as an individual, but still remaining authentic to self. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you relate and that it encourages you to really make the time to embrace yourself as an individual, and to go out to the world and act as if you are significant, because darling, you are very significant. So I'd like to leave you with a song by Macklemore featuring Skylar Grey or something, called I Am Glorious. Have yourself a fantastic week. Thank you.